For 1,000 years, Christians of both East and West shared a common apostolic and Orthodox faith within a diversity of liturgical rites, musical traditions, and other venerable customs of worship of the undivided Church. Having severed its unity with Eastern Orthodoxy, Christendom in the West gradually drifted doctrinally to new vistas unknown to the early Church and its patristic foundations. During recent centuries, Western countries have witnessed a reawakening of interest in the Orthodox Christian faith. Many Westerners converting to Orthodoxy from Roman Catholicism, Anglicanism, and various Protestant denominations have desired, while adopting fully the dogmas of faith and the wealth of spirituality preserved by the Eastern Church, to preserve the genuinely Orthodox and wholly acceptable liturgical heritage of the West of the first millennium. As early as 1870, the Holy Governing Synod of the Russian Orthodox Church sanctioned the usage of the Western Rite by those for whom this facilitated their journey to Orthodoxy. In the 20th century, a spiritual giant of the Russian Orthodox Church abroad, St. John Maximovich of Shanghai and San Francisco, while at the head of the Western European diocese, was very supportive of this initiative and instrumental in bringing many believers in France and other countries into the Orthodox Church. This movement saw a zealous attempt to restore the traditions of the ancient Gallican Rite of pre-schism Orthodox France. For various reasons, which have been connected more with human frailty than anything else, attempts at establishing a solid missionary effort in the Orthodox diaspora with the use of the Western Rite have to this day not seen the growth hoped for. Nonetheless, the potential remains for Western Christians, discouraged by the changes and the creeping secular humanism invading Western religious institutions, to find their true spiritual home within Orthodox Christianity, following a Western usage in their worship without losing their total connectedness and integral unity with the Eastern Orthodox Church. This striving is perhaps still in its infancy. The present St. Coleman prayer book was begun as a project in 1996 and has taken 7 years to bring to this point. The work has been carried out at St. Petrok Monastery within the Russian Orthodox Church outside of Russia for the use with this diocese. It is presented with the hope that it will serve as a spiritually beneficial book of prayer, as well as a stepping stone towards a future blossoming of Orthodox witness to spiritual pilgrims in the West who are searching for the true faith. Metropolitan Hilarion, First Hierarch of the Russian Orthodox Church outside of Russia, 19th of February, 4th of March, 2003, the Feast of St. Coleman, Monk of Iona, Bishop of Lindisfarne, 676. So as you heard in the intro, about 10 years ago, we were given the first edition of the St. Coleman Prayer Book by Father Michael Wood. So here we are at the latest iteration. It's the third edition. Now, I picked this up last year with the intention of doing an episode, and it just got lost in the stack. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you folks. Mea culpa. Went through, took all my notes, did all the stuff. Now, those of you that have been in our Discord, have seen some of the earlier show notes for this book. And so if you go back and watch the previous episode on this, which I guess is about 3 years ago at this point, huh? It was a long time ago. You're not getting much different here. Now, I will say it's slightly smaller, not by much. Cream paper, it's been retypeset, all beautiful. One of the major differences in this is the switch from the liturgy of St. Gregory to the liturgy of St. John the Divine. And therein lies the cool bit. As we know, liturgies don't just fall out of the air as they are, and they evolve over time. So the liturgy of St. John, as transmitted by St. John himself in an epistle from Ephesus, roughly AD 80 to 90 or thereabouts, not of course in its finished form or the form we know today, but its bare bones of how to celebrate a liturgy was in that epistle, and so the liturgy as we have it in the current form progressed from that. It evolved from that. And so this liturgy is taken from the Stone Missal, which began around 600 AD, okay, and the final edits were done somewhere around, I don't know, 900 roughly, were the last alterations to it, so perfectly pre-schism. What's interesting, though, is that this liturgy was used in exile. You see, after the Norman invasions and the subsequent, is papization a word? I'm coining a term, papization. People would amscray out of the British Isles and settled in some very interesting places in maybe the Near East, let's call it, where this was used by communities of descendants of those refugees up until the 1600s. That's pretty cool. Now, the Liturgy of St. John the Divine is not the only reason to get this book, but what is cool is that Father Michael Wood, who is behind this whole project and who I've had the good pleasure of speaking with, he's very open. If you find him on Facebook, he loves to talk. He's a historian. That's what he does. But he's also a Western Rite Christian monk. So what he did was he also published just the Liturgy of St. John the Divine on its own. Now, granted, these are just print on demand through Amazon, what have you. But listen, I've seen some real stinkers when it comes to print on demand, and the man at least did due diligence in presenting it nice and neat. So why make a video about a book that you can buy it, you cannot buy it, it's probably not going to rock your world, and unless you're a history nerd or you're really into just collecting every liturgy you could possibly get your hands on, why buy this? Good question. Are you into the Western Rite? Are you into preserving your own cultural, spiritual heritage? Are you looking to just understand a little better the faith of your fathers? Listen, like you, I'm not Greek, I'm not Eastern European, well, maybe just a smidge. But listen, my family's been in North Carolina for over 300 years. I'm a Carolinian more than a European at this point. But the point is that these books are important in that they preserve, who we are as a Christian people, not just as an ethnicity or, or some people are like ultra chat about the whole, I'm a Northern European. Listen, I'm Northern European too. Big whoop. All right. But what we do have here is the preservation of the history of our faith in the written word, in the worship of the word. See what I did there? And so for that reason alone, I'd say this is what was it? Like $20, something like that? Doesn't even have a price on it. Why go out and buy this book? Well, because maybe it's time we take a look. Just away with the whole, the West is cringe, blah, blah, blah. Listen, we're all Western by nature of our birth, our heritage. We are Western people. So it behooves us to at least take a look, study and understand, and start to appreciate our Christian heritage, just as Europeans in general, as not Slavic people, as not Greek people, as not Middle Eastern people, as not Northern African people. We are of a tradition that is just as venerable as many saints have said, many saints of the Orthodox Church have said. It is just as venerable as the monastic orders of the East that became the liturgies that we know today in the Eastern Orthodox Church. Do yourself a favor, treat yourself, why don't you, to the parochial and delightful and very European Western Rite texts as preserved here by Father Michael Wood in the Western Rite Orthodox Christian Church. Am I trying to sell you a book? I guess I am. Listen, folks, I said I'd do a video, and here it is. I'm scraping the barrel here. I'm not doing well, all right? I'm just trying to keep you all interested. Go, buy a book. Or listen, if you don't want to get that, you're just interested in the liturgy, and yes, none of us like reading stuff off a screen. I can't tell you how many PDFs I have of liturgies and prayer books. I can't look at them. Garbage. So at least you can get the print version of the Liturgy of St. John the Divine, as is printed in the St. Coleman Prayer Book. So there it is. Marching orders, sally forth, go do the things. And thanks again for stopping in. Listen, full disclosure, I spent more time on that intro, that 3-minute intro, than I did on anything else in this episode. So if you made it through that, like, I'm just happy. So anyway, more to come. Far more interesting things to come, and things with maybe just a little more preparation to come. Thank you all so very much. Struggle well in this Lent. On behalf of Spooky Cat and myself, thank you so much. We're praying for you. Please, please, please continue to pray for us. Desperately need your prayers. And as always, don't forget to go to church, say your prayers, and remember God. God bless.